Well, here we go again. Sorry, it takes me a moment. You know, the do-it-yourself video buffs like us here on YouTube have to sort of manage this ourselves. Hi, Guy. I'm back here with Guy Jefferson, my trainer. We have an introductory session just talking to you about some of the elements of unique
physique, practical solutions.
Unique physique, practical solutions, which is Guy's company, and what he's doing, which I guess is a differentiation from the millions of other trainers that are out there. And I can only go on some of the experiences that I've had, but we've been talking about how Guy's approach is very, very different. One thing I noticed when I started training with you about a year ago, there are a few other guys my age. I'm not going to reveal my age, but like most of us in mid-age, the guts started coming out, and I noticed a couple of the other guys there, similar sorts of things. After 3 or 4 months, I think, from memory, I'd lost about 10 centimetres off my belly. What I did notice, however, excuse me, was that to this day, a lot of the other guys that I've been seeing there still have not lost their gut. They're there doing their weights, the treadmill and everything.
Sure.
So what I've noted and experienced as a practical experience is that your approach to diet really does work.
Sure.
Because what we're saying here is that it's a two-pronged attack. It's not enough to go into the gym, do all that heavy physical exercise without paying attention to the diet.
Absolutely.
So can you talk a little bit about that so people can get a bit more of an insight?
Most certainly. The nutritional component of what I offer my students and my clients is absolutely integral and of paramount importance to the entire, I suppose, execution of what I teach. Now, it's something that is overlooked by a lot of, I suppose, mainstream personal trainers these days, and it's something, as far as I'm concerned, that goes a lot further than simply macronutrients or something that we're more well accustomed to hearing of: protein, fats and carbohydrates. Now, unfortunately to date, because there are so many products to bring to market, and there are so many supplements, and the supplement industry is just huge with all the multi-million-dollar ad campaigns, and as I said, when there's products to bring to market, there's always propaganda surrounding certain research and what I call bad science. There isn't and never will be a good substitute or a better substitute than nutrition in the form of fruits, vegetables, seeds and nuts, and proteins for that matter as well, in the form of meats and poultry, good high quality organic meat. Now, I am not yet completely vegetarian, but my beliefs are certainly going down that track. I do believe we need a little bit of protein, which you yourself get from plant protein.
Well, yeah, I'm a vegetarian,
yes.
And that's been a delicate issue with me, because sometimes the weight training we do is pretty intense. But
yep.
I think I'm coping with that, and I've stuck to pretty much the dietary regime you've put down, and it's working for me.
It is. As I said to you, the main thing is nourishing the body. That's the whole aim. I believe a lot of people these days feed their stomachs instead of feeding their bodies. And
yeah, we were talking about that, the fact that eating has become a habit rather than a process of nutrifying the body.
Absolutely.
Building and regenerating the cellular structure.
Absolutely. I mean, when we have a look at the majority of the people out there today, I mean, we are probably the most malnourished and dehydrated country in the world, one of the anyhow. With our obesity levels these days, and the fact that diabetes, cancer and heart disease, which in my opinion are all completely preventable diseases, are going through the roof.
Well, the most recent research is definitely showing the links now between the dietary component and a lot of these diseases. And speaking about water, it's amazing. At first it was difficult for me to get my head around, would you believe it, 3 litres of water a day, plus, once I'd finished that juice fast with you, 1 litre of juice, usually for breakfast or mid-morning. That's around 4 litres of liquid a day. You're a pretty big advocate on that high intake of liquid as part of the diet.
Absolutely. Well, as I said, the nutritional component is key to good health. Now, when people are walking around undernourished and dehydrated, obviously, I mean, I don't know if you know, but the brain holds a lot of water. It's 75 to 80% water, and as is the body. Your body actually, your brain rehydrates from the stomach every 24 hours through a process called capillary precipitation. This is done through cellular osmosis, which basically the brain basically sucks water up from the stomach. A lot of people that are drinking a lot of Powerade and sugary drinks these days, unfortunately, those drinks are delivered into the bloodstream. A lot of their sugars and salts and so forth. And the brain doesn't rehydrate from the bloodstream. As I said, it rehydrates from the stomach. So
headaches and confusion, dizziness, poor thinking.
Absolutely.
So this is where the mental side of what you're saying, just through the process of hydrating ourselves, can actually make such a big difference.
Oh, look, if you to think right, you've got to move right. To think right, you've got to eat right, and to think right, you've got to drink right. They're in the famous words of one of my mentors, Paul Check. And as I said, if you aren't eating right, you're not drinking right and moving right, you cannot think right. So this is where I suppose the holistic approach and the holistic component comes into my approach also, in that obviously if the brain's not functioning properly, you've got to have a look at a little bit deeper down into why that's not happening.
Well, for a lot of people watching this, I mean, probably your interest is purely on how can I become more psychic, how can I develop my skills in reading. But I've always said to people that approach me in my business that the only instrument I have to do a good reading or to get some sort of intuition is my physical and mental apparatus.
Yes.
That's my instrument. If I was a butcher, then I'd keep my knives sharp. If I was a mechanic, I'd make sure I had all my tools in place. So therefore, for what I'm doing, and I guess for a lot of people that are watching who are wanting to know how to develop that, these aspects of what you're doing in your training are essential to tune the body and the mind.
Absolutely.
So basically, water, which we take for granted, is an important component of that.
It's the key to life. I believe that we're all mini universes walking around in a very, very large universe, and the simple fact is Mother Earth is 70 to 80% water, and so are our bodies. It's quite interesting how those mathematical measurements came to be. But as I said to you, most definitely, I don't think enough people actually look down into what's happening if they're not thinking right, or they're becoming depressed, or they're becoming anxious, or
they blame things outside themselves,
absolutely,
rather than looking at what they can do from within themselves.
Precisely.
And I must say, a lot of people think that doing physical workout is purely to sort of build muscle, and that. What I've found that one of the main things is the decompression in my mind, because I've got a huge, I work sometimes up to 100 hours a week, and now I'm finding that there's a lot more calm. I'm able to handle the stress a lot better. What I want to talk about in our next video, don't go away. We want to talk a little bit about that other most important nutrient, oxygen, and the other aspect of what I've found with your training is working the breathing and with a lot of the exercises and the physical movement. So, have you got time to
I'll look forward to it.
Tell us a little bit more about that?
I'll look forward to
Good.
it.
Hang around there. As I said, we're sort of just a do-it-yourself video. People, I'm going to have to turn the video off. Don't go away.